Hello friends, today I am talking about the importance of avoiding plagiarism in academics. The plagiarism is the incorrect or wrong appropriation or closeness towards other authors' language, thoughts, ideas or expressions. It is the representation of them as one's own original work. Various institutes of the world and countries have their own guidelines that define and show the way to avoid plagiarism. It is completely unacceptable to take credit for others' work and steal information or call something of others to be of our own. It should be strongly rejected with heavy fines and other ways of demotion and stringent rules. To plagiarize means or to make clear wrongdoings in academics or in research is to steal use the ideas, techniques, work or words of others as one's own. To present an idea or information as newer production or suggestion, thought it is already available in some other sources. To use the sentences or more lines as it is without crediting references or source. Even failing to quote in quotation marks, providing wrong or misleading information, editing sentences without credit are also some other forms of plagiarism. I strongly request all readers, research workers and academicians not to copy more than even a single line as it is, even though with a proper quote of reference. This is very important and useful to avoid plagiarism related issues. Develop a habit of modification or restructuring sentences. The sentences can be modified or changed with the newer terms or synonyms without affecting the meaning given by original author. Moreover, only changing the words of source is not sufficient to prevent plagiarism. It is necessary to add references with a source of availability. Always cite the full references. Thus, plagiarism is a wrong way, maybe an intentional or unintentional fraud, which involves stealing content initially and lying about afterwards after publication. Plagiarism can be avoided in most cases just by quoting sources, references, especially for a certain type of content and scientific facts or terms. Acknowledgement of the source is an important aspect as it is the property of someone else. Authors should identify the form of plagiarism that comes by mistake or unknowingly. Unintentional plagiarism occurs when an author fails to quote a citation with sufficient sources and matter therein. Plagiarism is avoidable just with control over mind and developing some fruitful writing techniques. Nowadays, it is very easy to identify the contents already published through various electronic sources, internet, digital libraries, etc. and websites of many directories. Self-plagiarism can also be termed as self-stealer, recycling fraud, where authors take up generously from his or her previously published work, violating the expectation of originality. Self-plagiarism is a major issue in many developing and poor countries of the world. It has also been observed that the self-plagiarism occurs when the same writings are again and again used for other purposes. Showing and publishing for monetary benefits generates self-plagiarism and absolutely is the wrong way. Most of the time, authors wish to complete the writings of a paper as early as possible. They should take enough time about contents and each word framing it. All the contents should be checked very carefully to maintain the quality of articles. Manipulation in any form must be avoided. Writers should show creativity through the novel, original and quality article to the scientific communities and world. For the same purpose, proper planning and a time frame are needed while writing a paper. In most of the laws, there is no strict rule to cite a source for common knowledge or for the common practices and facts which can be freely used without citing the reference. In most cases, governmental copyright laws apply to the violation. There are many cases that most colleges and universities have zero tolerance towards plagiarists. The stricter guidelines can be observed in developed countries and top institutions of the world. A large number of cases or inquiries have been filed in the past against hundreds of authors and even teachers, especially from research backgrounds. Many teachers have been demoted or suspended from works and are blocked from the further research. There have been a significant number of cases where people have lost their jobs from their higher positions. Heavy fines have also been imposed in the past for plagiarism. Newer cases are also being filed throughout the world, even in the existence of change and stricter guidelines. If a small portion of writing is found to have been plagiarized, it is considered a violation of copyright. The less part, minimum, lower contents or little even with reference from other work is always better for producing the original and novel piece. Generally, plagiarism in the academic field is very much restricted and nowadays is protected by strict guidelines. Though in India, there was not much monitoring in the past, but nowadays the conditions to check it has caused major changes in academic writings. In the future, the strict monitoring is the need for the same purpose with awareness and standard guidelines. The message of the importance of original work must go to the masses. Many times it is seen that the plagiarism happens by mistake or without knowing the rules and conditions related to others' work. I believe the social status of a country also diverts the individuals to form unintentional plagiarism ways. It is seen that the absence of guidelines and rules confuses individuals who are engaged in academic tasks. Plagiarism check must be demanded officially on a priority basis for academicians and researchers. There are laws and reframed rules amended in almost every country about the plagiarism nowadays. I believe it is highly related to the ethics. Purposeful breach of ethics must be punished as per the level of occurrence. On the other hand, there is big scope to give some relief and respect to the experts if they are not directly involved in plagiarism faults. Care must be taken not to cause and misjudge with those right experts. Sometimes the misuse of laws can cause the purposeful filing of cases against experts. In the future, the plagiarism related issues with ideas and words is also going to be very complicated. The country-wise occurrence of plagiarism and the ways of the treatment may differ. very recently UGC has given the very clear and strict guidelines about plagiarism, but still I believe they have come late. Even strict implementation of at all levels in education system is still a big issue in India. On the other hand, I restrict myself to call a fraud, especially something that occurs in the academic field, as no teacher would dare to do it intentionally. But of course, it is a big fraud when someone goes for it purposefully. It is strictly related to moralities. There are many plagiarism checker softwares available online. It is the need of time for every institute. They must make it available to the teachers and other members at free, as I know Turnitin is widely used in Indian institutes and universities. There are many paid as well as free plagiarism checking softwares. They not only check the originality, but at the same time by professional ways they can check out the grammatical errors also. Every individual must focus on making their articles 100% unique, means 0% plagiarism. I advise the writers that they should not only prepare articles by following guidelines, but also by adhering to your principles that make an article of international acceptability. I believe this is the best way to avoid any type of cheating to ourselves at first. This will ultimately help to create an overall image of individuals, institutes, society, and in a larger way of our country. It is observed that those who are lazy and not interested in proper studies go for plagiarism to achieve something in short time, to pass the examination, to prepare reports, to get promotion in job, or to earn more money by way of creating a fake impression on other individuals or agencies. In my view, many teachers in the past did not know the conditions, terms, and the ways that form plagiarism and applies to almost every society. Very fine and accurate guidelines are coming nowadays, and they are the result of past happenings throughout the world. But nowadays the conditions have changed significantly and rapidly as per international demands in Indian society as well. Various purposes have been recorded which form the methods for plagiarism. The ways for plagiarism have also reasoned or linked with flooding of new journals and the emergence of huge number of research papers in short time. This is happening in many countries in the world. The local and indigenous publishers have been blocked indirectly, and we are not allowed to go ahead. The publishing industry and defining the quality of publications have remained the property of few developed countries, and they are not allowing other publishers to emerge out from other countries of the world. This is my observation. In turn, the whole market has been captured by few leading publishing companies in the world. So every part of the research and new writings becomes property of these leading publishers who are working from developed and rich countries. I am of the complete view that newer concepts of defining developmental and progressive ways should not stop further upliftment of the developing and poor societies, especially in the emergence of standard writing practices in all fields of society. I suggest that governments should protect the interest of their authors and support the publishers with very transparent guidelines. The stringent and unclear rules that are defined by Western countries should not suppress the new writings and future growth of knowledgeable groups. I advise you, the young writers and academicians, to take special attention to the guidelines and high care in producing quality write-ups. The government agencies and institutes have to make it more clear, especially to those who are working for them. Very transparent guidelines, ideal software, and expectation of quality output is the need for which countries should provide support to the citizens. On the other hand, unique and standard guideline documents should come out from international agencies to avoid future conflicts. Originality and novelty is a base of development in science and technology. Even it is the way for philosophical development of the human mind. Thank you very much.